So, good evening, or let's say good morning to the side of the world. It's me, the Lock Robster, Diamond Level A, bringing you a new vlog. Yes, and it's high time that I actually do a vlog, since especially after the recent virtual handshake event, since I'm about to talk about my experience with the No Way Man virtual handshake event, days 1 and 2. But for this purpose, this will be just day 1. Okay. But before I actually get into it, let us talk about before this event happened. Okay, so during the actual physical handshake event, I believe was it last month. Yeah. So everyone was talking about, oh, when will the virtual handshake event be? And me, I kind of assumed, or at least told them my assumptions, that perhaps the virtual handshake event would happen next year, 2023. Yes, since we just recently had a virtual handshake event this year, which was way back in March, so basically 8 months ago. So I thought it's a good reason for me to believe that's going to be next year, to give a wide gap between the last VHSE, which was in March, and the actual physical virtual handshake event that happened just a month ago or two. Okay, so yeah. But then, to my surprise, one M and Love informed us that he learned from a reliable source that there's going to be a virtual handshake event on November 26 and 27. Okay, yeah, I was kind of surprised. Well, they're actually going to do this quite early. They're not even going to wait a year for it to happen again. And then when HHE finally officially announced that there's going to be the virtual handshake event, yes, I'm really happy that it's actually happening, despite my assumptions and all that. But let's put that all aside, since I I'm always looking forward to events like this, since this is my only chance to see the members face to face, virtually, of course. Okay, so later on, um, uh, HHE released the schedule and of the girls on this 2 day event, and they're gonna do like almost like a an actual virtual handshake, physically format. Okay, with having stations, station 1 and station 2 on each day. Okay, and I guess they did this in a way is to control the schedule, yeah, of the girls' handshake time. Yeah, because during the last VHSE, there's like the staff or HHE itself, kind of like you know let the fans do that they want, or something like, or like say keep the fans happy, since the schedule wasn't really followed on girls. Usually supposed to be 30 minutes, but then it ballooned on certain girls. It ballooned into like almost an hour or so, and believe me, those lines were long since I was there. And as a witness to all that, like certain members have very long lines. So yeah. So in this way, I guess, like I mentioned, it's a way to control uh, the time and the MN labs not to be so, let's say, um, grabby in a way. But yeah, I'm not sure what word I could use for there. But yeah, if you miss the time, then you miss the time, I guess. All right. Then look forward to the next time. Okay. Okay. And yeah, and I mean, you should really afford this opportunity to do it, especially for MN loves like me who are Team Malayo, and I'm the very Malayo of them all. Okay. So yeah. So then they did have to buy the tickets, the handshake tickets. Okay. So I counted there that there are 28 members. Yes. So oh, speaking of which, I should talk about how the way the girls are divided. As I mentioned, there are 28 members, but the way they're divided was kind of odd. Since on day 1 there were 15 members, and then day 2 13 members. Why not make it 14 and 14 for each day? And I believe it was given the reason that um, some of the girls have certain schedules, especially at school, during Saturday, and some could not attend, I guess, because of school, because of Saturday or even Sunday. So that's why I guess the schedule was like that, or that's why it was the girls were divided in such a manner. Okay, so yeah, now going back to the handshake tickets. Okay, so the last VHSE, I believe I spent around, I should say, 40 plus tickets. Yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because there are a lot of times where I doubled up. Okay, but now today I'm going to be a bit conservative. Yeah, not to be like let it all out there. Okay, okay. Maybe I've gone through that. I'm over with that phase, you should say. Okay, so I kind of like did some math on this. Okay, so there are 28 members. So obviously, I want to see all members like I did last time. Okay, even though I was only able to see 27 because those 27 were present there, those three were not. So I didn't actually see all of them. Okay, so it's 27 out of 30. So my goal for this VHSE to see all the members, 28 out of 28. Okay, so yeah. So going back to my math. Okay, so 28 members, one ticket for each member, 28 tickets. Okay, so obviously that won't be enough on certain members. Uh, Either I consider Oshi or who I'm meeting for the first time. Okay, so I chose like 7 members who I like to double up on. Okay, in a way. Okay, let me explain. Okay, so there are 4 members who I like to double up on, basically give 2 tickets to. Okay, so the mentioned missing 3 from last VHSE were Gia, Charm, and Amy. So I wanted to double up so I can have, let's say, quality time with them being the first time I'm actually going to see them. Okay. Well, not for Gia since I already saw her during the very first VHSE, but I want to see her double time nonetheless. Okay. So 28 plus 3, which is extra, one extra for each of the girls that I mentioned. So that's a total of 31. Okay. So then I realized that there's Mari, who I haven't actually handshook with. Yeah. And she's just made a comeback with MNL48. And I failed to take the opportunity to meet her during the first VHSE, and I want to make some quality time with her too. So another extra ticket for her makes it 32 tickets. 32 tickets. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then I should also double up on, you should say, uh, my, how should I say this? I guess my more favorite Oshis, you should say. Okay. Namely Princess, Dana, and Rhea. Okay. So yeah, so that's 3 more tickets. Um, let's see. That's 3 more tickets for them. 2 more tickets for them, and then make it more. Uh, Another 3 tickets for them. So I'd like to do triple time with Rhea, Dana, and Princess. Okay, so that gives me 38 tickets. Okay, okay, and it's such a kind of like you should say not so round number. If I'm gonna buy 38 tickets, so I decided to make it a round number. So I decided to buy 40 tickets. Yeah. The other 2 extra tickets, actually, I decided to give it to Colleen on day 1 and then Abby on day 2. So Colleen and Abby both have 2 tickets apiece since they're going to be actually the last members from each day that I'm going to be talking to. Okay, so yeah, so there you go. So I bought 40 tickets for that in total for this the third VHSE. Okay. Okay, so I prepared myself for eventually what will happen. Okay, so now we will go into my experiences on day 1. Okay, so I have this notebook I written down to make sure that I distribute the tickets as planned and to whom I'm going to which members I'm going to be seeing first, depending on the schedule here. Okay, so on at 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. Station 1 is Charm, Station 2 is Claire. Okay, so I decided to see Claire first since hers was one ticket, 20 seconds. Okay. Oh, before I forget, yeah, I decided to, let's say, how do you call this? Just for the occasion. There you go. So I'm not actually not wearing it now since it's in the laundry. It's actually a long sleeve white polo shirt and then a bow tie. Okay, I decided to wear a bow tie. Actually, during the last VHSE, I wanted to wear the bow tie. Yeah, but then I decided to not to and use it for the actual virtual meet and greet with the Noe Man Senbatsu. Yeah, so if you've seen my picture uh, of me wearing that bow tie, this is what it looks like. Okay, there you go. There you go. Yeah. So yeah. So that's a pink bow tie, actually. Yeah. So that's what I actually wore for the Noe Man, Noe Man meet and greet, wearing that pink bow tie. Okay, but for this event, I started off with a different bow tie, which is this one. Okay, yeah, this one right there. There you go. With that bow tie. So that's a green bow tie with black and white accents to it. Okay, yeah. So it's this bow tie. So you make you see clearly. There you go. That's the bow tie I wore on day one, at least the first half, when seeing the girls. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I guess you should say I'm dressing to impress, but I just want, I guess, to make it memorable for them as they are going to make it memorable for me. Okay, so why not? Okay, okay. So going back to the scheduling. Okay, so Claire first with one ticket. Okay, and what was I guess you should say not things are not doing well, especially with the return to Zoom with the VHSE, since there was kind of like a delay in the start of of the virtual handshake event. As at least from my perspective, it started late and it almost took up a chunk of the time of the schedule for both Claire and Charm. Okay, so when after all the explanations by the admin, I believe that was May, Miss May, yeah, and then we started going, letting them know which members we want to see and how many tickets we are. Okay, so one ticket for Claire. I went on to see Claire, and yeah, and she was she's such a you could say a very bubbly girl, and she really liked my bow tie. Yeah, and she also kind of like whispered in a way if I'm going to go to their December 15 concert, which at first I didn't understand, but yeah, I kind of like you should say smiled it off until the end of the 20 seconds. Yeah. Oh, there's going to be a recurring theme here. Okay. As I mentioned there, Claire called me cute because I was wearing the bow tie, because bow ties are cool. And regarding the concert, okay, it's going to be a recurring theme all the time. So yeah, um, I should say not all of the members called me cute. Okay. Uh, in my what do you call outfit of the day, OOTD, at that time, yeah. But that was very few of them that didn't call me cute, because back then I was able to count how many girls called me cute in the first VHSE and with the second VHSE, and this one it's almost all of them. Yeah, I was able to call me cute because of how I dressed up. Okay, and then with regards to they're basically inviting me to watch them at their December 15 concert, and there are times that I have to apologize. I have to apologize because I can't do it. I can't just up and fly up in the Philippines like that, and it's very hard to do that, especially when I have work. And it's sometimes kind of like you should I could say heartbreaking to see their faces kind of like change from happy to sad or disappointed like that. So it's almost like an endless uh, row of apologizing to them for not being able to be there. You know, some of them are are very understanding. I mean, they say it's okay. Some of them are very understanding. Oh yeah, like that. Yeah, those are the type of girls that you want to be girlfriend. Understanding girlfriend. All right. So moving on. Okay, so after Claire, I wanted to go see Charm. Okay, so I have 2 tickets for Charm. Okay, and this was like way past the 1:30 uh, time for them uh, at this point, and they did still give me the link for Charm, and I guess that's why I thought that maybe they moved the schedule for a bit because they still let me see Charm. Okay, and this is the funny part because while I was clicking on the link to the next room, it was quite a long time. It's quite maybe like uh, you should be immediate, but there was some delay. I guess maybe like 5 minutes, and I was getting nervous. Oh God, am I going to be able to see Charm at this time? Because her time was already up, and then I'm in her room, and I'm just waiting to be called up. And is this gonna happen like last time, where they just ended the room session because her time was already up? Yeah, like that. So I waited and waited, and then finally they let me in, and okay, that's almost a sigh of relief to finally be in to finally get to meet Char and yeah, Charm. Okay, and there finally see Charm for the first time, and I kind of like told her that oh, I thought I'd never be able to get in here to see you. Yeah, and yeah, and she was quite amused by my outfit and all that, and yeah, we talked quite some time, and she talked about me for if I could be at the concert. I said no, like that. And then when her time was up, I heard the alarm. Usually there's an alarm there on her side. Okay, and she was already waving by, and I uh, kind of like whispered, well, maybe not whisper, but said to her in this manner, "Isang nga, isang nga," and like that. And she did the which is so famous for on Kumu, and ooh, that really got me. Like, oh, yeah, you should see Charm's latest Kumu live. She actually talked about that when she said na tuwang-tuwa ako na na hinum nga. So, iba talaga ang ng isang MNL48 charm. Yeah. So yeah, so that was, I should say, the first highlight of day one for me. Na ako ni Charm. Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna go back and forth with English and Tagalog here. Okay, guys. Okay, next up was the 1:30 to 2 p.m. time. Okay, and first up was on station 1 and 2. Station 1 is Miho. Station 2 is Princess. Yes. Okay, so I decided to start with Miho since I only have 1 ticket for her. Okay, and I went in, no problem. And yeah, Miho was kind of like, she kind of remembered me. Yeah, and she was so happy to see me again. And that was surprising to me because on her Kumo lives, when I go in there, she just calls me Lock Robster like that. Aside from other members who would call me by my name, my actual name of Robbie or Kuya Rob, like that. Kuya Robbie, yeah, Sir Rob, like that, Boss Rob, like that. Yeah, she never, she never mentioned my name, just my, you should say, screen name or my YouTube name, Lock Robster, like that. Okay, and then when she saw me, yes, hey, Robbie. Yeah, and then she mentioned Lock Robster, so she actually knows that, she remembers that me and Lock Robster are the same, are the same people, and that made me happy. Yeah, and she liked my bow tie, as usual, like that. And once again, the concert, and I had to apologize to her for that. Okay, yeah, all in all, Miho's a sweetheart. Okay, like that. So next up, with that, quickly went to Princess, who I mentioned we'll see her with 3 tickets. Yeah, and And there I go. So I went to Princess, and Princess was quite happy, yeah, to see me and visit her like that. Yeah, and it was quite a long talk in a way because she also mentioned about the concert, me if I would come, and I explained the usual what I mentioned before, and she says it's okay, and that she understands. Yeah, and I kind of asked her that, uh, and every sometimes in live she was always living while lying in bed. So yeah, because I kind of mentioned but lagi ka nakahiga, lagi yan, pag nakikita kita. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like just a fun talk between me and Princess. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure she appreciates me visiting her. Yeah, because I know also I've visited her. For this is the third straight time. Yeah, I visited her for a virtual handshake event. Yeah, because she is one of my Oshis, and now she's made it to my top Oshi, meaning number one. Okay. Yeah, not Kami Oshi because Kami Oshi belongs to Quincy. Okay. All right, and with that, okay, and after Princess, I decided to, since there was like a delay, I thought there's gonna be enough time, yeah, for me to see, the next schedule, which is 2:30 p.m., which is Deanne and Jamie. Okay, and during that time, I kind of like multitask. I uploaded some pics on my Facebook, on my Facebook page, and chatted with the fellow MN loves on our group chat like that. And let's see here. Yeah, so basically I spent that time doing that and then went on to the virtual handshake again. Okay, so when I was in the waiting room, I said that I'd like to see DN for one ticket. Okay, on that one. And they were already like saying like last call, last call. Uh, the the admins there on the waiting room was saying that, oh, last call for DN, and Jamie was kind of surprised me. I thought I still had time. Okay, so I kind of repeated my request, but also included that I repeated my request for see Deanne for one ticket, but then I also added seeing Jamie for one ticket since they're already calling last call. Okay, so then I got the link. Okay, I clicked on it and got out of the waiting room. Okay, at first I thought it was gonna be I'm gonna be meeting Deanne. Okay, but then when it opened, it was Jamie. Okay, so yeah, so that kind of surprised me. And but Jamie also gave me a memorable uh, conversation there when I handshook her because she noticed my bow tie and my outfit, and she kind of indicated because of the way she's also dressed, it's almost like we were dating. Yeah, that's Jamie for you. I mean, the last VHSE, she gave me a hugot line, and now she did this to me again. So that was fun. Even though it's 20 seconds, but it was cool for Jamie to actually say that. And yeah, okay. Then I went back to the waiting room again so I could get to see Deanne, to try to see Deanne because already I'm not sure how many minutes have passed before I got back in there. Okay, so I kind of like asked, can I still see Deanne? Okay, but they said they were already doing the next scheduled time, which is 2:30 to 3, uh, which is for Lara on Station 1 and Rihanna for Station 2. Okay, and that kind of like, damn, that kind of like bummed me out. Now I wasn't able to see Deanne. I was really looking forward to seeing Deanne again. But then, if, like I said before, if you miss the time, you miss the time, and I had enough time. Okay, apparently I did not. Okay, so that was sad. So I had one ticket unused that was supposed to be for Deanne. So I decided to use that one ticket that was for Deanne and gave it to Rihanna. Okay, yeah. So now Rihanna has two tickets, double time for her. Okay, so I decided to go to Lara first, and Lara. What's funny is since they're at the office, you can actually hear them. before they opened their camera. So when I opened my camera, when I got into her room, I heard her say, "Oh, I'm cute," seeing me in my bow tie. Okay, then she finally opened her camera, and we talked for that 20 seconds, and she liked the bow tie, in which I kind of like changed my bow tie. Actually, I changed my bow tie uh, during the time of Jamie and Deanne. This pink bow tie. I decided to wear it again. So maybe since I was at the virtual meet and greet for No Way Man and Deanne and Jamie were there, uh, I think it would hopefully bring back memories seeing me wearing this again. Okay, but then I didn't see Deanne. Okay, but I only see Jamie. I saw Jamie on that time. Okay. Okay, so on Lara, okay, she saw me in that my pink bow tie, and she indicated that uh, her dress, part of her dress, had pink colors in it. And yeah, so and I kind of mentioned, oh, so I guess we're the pink couple now. Oh yeah, it's true, like that. Okay, there you go, and there you go. So that 20 seconds for Lara, cool Lara as always. And then I quickly hurried to see Rihanna. Okay, okay, so I used 2 tickets now for Rihanna because one of them used to be Deanne's and I missed her, so by default it went to her. Okay, so yeah, so I got my 40 seconds with Rihanna, and she saw me and oh, found me cute because of my outfit once again. And she kind of apologized in a way because she hasn't been active on Kumu Live for a bit, maybe just a few lives because of her busy schoolwork. And I say, oh, I understand, because you do what you have to do, like that. And she kind of asked about if I was going to the concert, and I said, "Oh, I can't, Rihanna, because all that excuses from before." And yeah, she understands totally why I couldn't attend. And yeah, so that's once again uh, a sweet Rihanna, handshaking with a sweet Rihanna once more, and that was good. Good to see her again. Okay. Oh, she keeps calling me Sir Rob, so yeah, very respectful of her elders. Okay. So after Rihanna, okay, after Rihanna, we go on to the 3 o'clock to 3:30 schedule, and the ones are scheduled on station one is Liza, and station two is Rhea. Yes, okay, one of my favorite third gens. Okay, so I decided to go to Liza first with 1 ticket. Yeah, and yeah, and she found me cute in my outfit as usual, and I kind of called her, "Oh, you look pretty today," like that. And I'm not sure if she blushed, but she was very thankful that I mentioned that, and she also mentioned about the concert that was coming. And once again, I have to apologize that I couldn't. Yeah. So yeah. So there you go, and that's my 20-second talk with Liza. Okay, nice to see her again as well. And now off to Rhea. Okay, with my 3 tickets in hand. There you go. Okay, so I went in there and she saw me. Yeah, nice to see Rihanna face to face once more, virtually, of course. Okay, and she was kind of surprised that she couldn't believe that I'd spend 3 tickets for her. But yeah, she's one of my favorite third gens, so why not? Okay, she deserves it. And like I said, she has a very unique personality that I found, I should say, endearing. Yeah, that's why I want to spend time with her. So yeah, okay, yeah, she talked about what time it is uh, uh, here in California at that time, and I mentioned it was already nighttime. I believe Charm also asked that, and I believe Jamie too. Yeah, if I recall, and I believe Rihanna as well. Okay, so yeah, and I also kind of mentioned to Rhea how is she doing, like that, and she kind of laughed because is she supposed to ask me that, like that, and also I revealed something. I revealed something to her that made her happy. That I'm not gonna say it here, okay? Because I'm gonna do a vlog about it next time. Yeah, it's gonna be a future vlog. It's not gonna come out like in a week or so. It's not gonna come out. I'm gonna wait for a certain time to actually uh, release that vlog. Okay, and yeah, and why it made Rhea happy. Okay, yeah, so that's my secret, and I guess that's me and Rhea's secret until everyone, all my subscribers and MLMs know what that secret will be in due time. Okay, okay. So after that scheduled time, next up is the 3:30 to 4 p.m. schedule, in which station 1 is Ella and station 2 is Claril. Okay, so I went into Ella first with one ticket. Okay, and she was, yeah, she found, once again, my outfit kind of cute. Yeah, and she was one. Ella's kind of like is one of these members who doesn't actually know that me and Lock Robster are the same people. Yeah, yeah, and I didn't say. I think I did say it last year, but perhaps you forgot. And yeah, they're busy, so it's understandable why they would forget me. Okay, and it was very plain at that time. But then I guess wearing the outfit and the bow tie and all that made me stick in their mind. Okay, like that for Ella. Okay, so yeah, and she kind of also asked me if my bow tie, because from what she's saying, she thought it was a white, but I kind of like get closer. Oh, it's pink, like that. Up close to the screen for her. Okay, there you go. And that's Ella for you for 20 seconds. Okay. And next up is Chloril. Okay, all right, for Chloril, okay, I used just one ticket. Okay, and this what happened. Okay. She's also one of these members, I guess, who doesn't know that me and Lock Robster are the same people. The same Lock Robster who visits her Kubo Labs from time to time. Okay, so yeah, she found me cute again, wearing this pink bow tie. Okay, and she kind of mentioned that. Oh, bow ties are cool, and she indicated on her dress, the part of her dress is she actually has a ribbon, but she calls it a bow tie. Yeah, because the difference, I guess, between a bow tie and a ribbon, the bow tie has no end sticking out. Okay, it's just like this. Okay, for ribbons, there's almost like tails, tails sticking out like that. So it should be called a ribbon, not a bow tie. Okay, because I kind of learned that phrase that it's called a ribbon in Japanese idols wear their uniform. Sometimes they call it ribbons, especially in schoolgirls. They wear what's supposed to be a bow tie, but it's actually a ribbon. They call it ribbons. Yeah, but here in the Philippines, I know Quincy in an high school episode called her ribbon a bow tie, and now I see Claril here calling hers a bow tie. But I didn't correct her. I didn't correct her on that. And one thing I didn't correct her on is when it's time to say goodbye, uh, she said, "Nice meeting you for the first time, but I met you last VHSE, Claril." Okay, but then I guess there's a reason for that because the last VHSE that I handshook with the Claril, I think I made a very bad impression on her, and that may be forgettable to her in her mind at least, because now when I think about it, I believe she was asking me. I also talked about this in the previous vlog that I had during that VHSC. That I think she asked me if I was a member of Korean Sekai, which is her fan club, and I said no. And that kind of like, hmm. And she, I guess I should say tampo, nagtampo sa akin, si Claril, panahon na yun. And then that's why I guess I was not a very memorable fan for her during that time. And seeing me in a different light here on this latest VHSE, I guess she thought I was a new fan or something like that. And yeah, she didn't recognize me. And I guess it's different while wearing the outfit and all that. That she said like, "Oh, nice meeting you for the first time," like that. However, just to skip forward for a bit, on her Kumu Live when I visited, she remembered me. Okay, at least she remembered, the bow tie because I guess I actually put my DP as of me wearing the bow tie. Yeah, but it was a different bow tie. But then when she saw it, she recalled that I was there, yeah, on the VHSE a few days ago, and that she really liked my outfit like that, and just happy and that I was cute and all that. Yeah. So in some way, yeah, in some way she remembered me that way, and that's good enough for me. And hopefully, in the next VHSE, she remembers. She remembers who I am this time. Okay. So next up, uh, the 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. schedule, in which station one is Francis and station two is Kath. Okay. So this is what happened now. Okay. So while we're in the waiting room, okay, so we talked. I said, one ticket for Francis, please. Okay, I got the link. I clicked on the link and left the room immediately. And then I wasn't able to get into a room for some reason. So this is one of the pitfalls of Zoom, especially last year, the last time they used Zoom for the virtual handshake event. Someone would click the link and the link wouldn't work, and that happened to me. Okay, with Francis's link. Okay, so I kind of waited for. I gave it a few minutes. Maybe I'm just because sometimes there's a delay. What happened with Charm? There was a delay there, so maybe there's a delay. Okay, and that happened. So I had to go back to the waiting room, and I have to wait to get put back into the waiting room. Okay, that ate up more time. And okay, so I told them, oh, can you give me another link because the link to Francis' room didn't work. Okay, and I had to wait for a bit, and then they gave me a link to exit. Clicked on the link, then exited, and then waited to be checked in the room. Okay, waited for a few minutes, and there I was able to get into the room. Okay, so with Frances, okay, so there's one ticket for Frances, right? Okay, and she saw me and she said, parang nakita na kita. Ganon. I told her, oh, we met in the last VHSE. Ah, oh, then she remembered me like that, yeah. And I believe Frances is another one of those members who doesn't know that me and Lock Props are the same. But I believe I told her the last VHSE, and like I said, girls forget. They're not elephants. They can't remember everything. Okay, and I know this, and I know this on some people. If it's not really important to you personally, you would not remember. Okay, they don't have my. I guess I have, like I mentioned, I have this sort of ability of total recall that I remember some past events more clearly than others. For example, I remember taking an adventure, let's say a bike ride with my little brother. I remember it clearly, but he doesn't. Okay, so in my perspective, that wasn't very important to him. To me, it was. That's why I still recall it. Okay, so I guess you could use that kind of theory with the girls I met who don't remember me from last time. Okay, so yeah, so once again, Frances was sweet and asked me if I would be going to the concert, and I have to apologize to her for that. Okay. Oh, one thing I forgot regarding Jamie. She asked me about the concert and almost like pleaded with me, and for some reason I couldn't say no, and I kind of like said I'll try. Okay, I didn't apologize or anything, but I said I'll try. Okay, so does that make me a bad person? Am I not telling the truth or something like that? Yeah. So yeah, I forgot to mention that in my talk with Jamie. But yeah. So yeah. So after Francis, when I went back to the waiting room to get a link for Kath, the admins were already talking about it was already Colleen's time, which was 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, and then the admin, I guess it was Miss May, kind of talked to me like, "Hello, Sir Rob," like that, and I kind of mentioned that, oh, I missed Cat. I missed the time of Cat, so that was I mentioned I was kind of sad because I was really like looking forward to seeing Cat. And then May mentioned, "Oh, you can still see Cat if you like." And I said, "Really? Okay, all right. Give me one ticket for Cat." Okay. So because this was ongoing on station two, it was Colleen's time. So at this time, Colleen was meeting with fans. So Kat, though her schedule of station two was over, they actually moved her in the space because at 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m., only Colleen was active during that time. So there was only one station. Colleen was in station two. So there's a blank spot on station one. They put Kat there for me to meet her. And yes, I was thankful I was able to meet her. And she kind of like, she kind of like, I guess, you'd say tampo, nagtatampo siya na, but ano, uh, hindi ako maaga pumunta. That's inexplain ko regarding yung link kay Frances. I had to go back and get it, kaya naubos ang oras para makita ka. Ganun. And she mentioned if I was going to the concert, and I said I can't. She made this face like she always does in her lives. She makes this face of, you should say, disappointment. Oh my god, I hate saying that, but yeah, no, I kind of like apologize to her profusely. I should say, um, na hindi ako makakapunta, and oh yeah, and then she understands. I guess you know how Kat is. She kind of like, it's her way of playing a joke on you and all that by being upset at you. Okay, so yeah, so I was able to see Kat, and then later on, I think it's also in the same conversation when I said I want to see Kat, and I believe May also asked me, who else do you want to see? And I said, can I still see Deanne? Okay, and she said yes. Okay, so Deanne was still there. Okay, and after I spoke to Kat, I got the link uh, for the room again, and it was Deanne. Oh god, I was so happy to see Deanne. I thought I totally missed her time completely. But yeah, it's a good thing she was still there, and I kind of like mentioned to her that she looks so pretty like that, and she kind of mentioned, oh, she didn't really do much. It's only like simple things she did, and I kind of said that, oh, simple is always best. Okay, yeah. So yeah, a little bit of you could say slurry dialogue between me and Diane there. But yeah, so happy that I was still able to get to see the end. Okay, so now after that, I wanted to see Colleen. Okay, so I went back to the waiting room. Okay, and I was waited to be put in so I could see Colleen. And at this point, it was like after 5 o'clock. I guess you should say it's 5:01, like that p.m. Okay, so I waited and waited and waited, and I never got into the room. So I waited like 30 minutes. Maybe they're just waiting or something. Okay. So then I realized maybe because that Colleen's time is up, it's really up. Yeah. So that basically means that I miss Colleen. Though I still gave them a chance. I'll give them like 5 more minutes, kind of like that. See, maybe they'll put me up and let me see Colleen. Okay, and it was the perfect time too because it was like 1 a.m. my time here in California, and it was November 26th, and it's perfect. It was her birthday on November 26th, and I wanted to say happy birthday to Colleen. Unfortunately, yeah, I missed the time, and it's too late. Yeah, so I never got to meet Colleen on that day. However, thinking what happened earlier, that Miss May was able to let me see Kath, even though its time is up. They let me see Deanne, even though her time is up. Maybe that they'll let me see Colleen the next day. Okay. So yeah, I was very optimistic for that to happen because I mean, if they let me do it today, maybe they'll let me do it tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, so there it goes. I decided to log off of Zoom and went to sleep. Happy. There you go. So that ends my day one experience at the No Way Man Virtual Handshake Event. Okay. So I guess the question remains, am I going to be able to see Colleen for day two? Will Miss May let me? Okay. And will I be able to make my record of seeing all 28 members? Right now, I've seen, at this point, 14 members. Okay. We shall see what happens on day two. So it is to be continued. and and I should say I should answer in a cliffhanger, and look forward to day two of my virtual handshake experience. in a few so and so. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that, and with that, look forward to part two, or should I say day two of this vlog. Okay, God bless, show less. See you later.